Michaela.
Hi. Oh, give me one sec. I'm going to do an introduction quickly. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're talking about the final S pronunciation and the different ways we pronounce one little letter. All right. So let's welcome the students. Palacio, welcome to class.
Okay, good morning. My name is Gladys.
Gladys. Okay. Have I had you in class before, Gladys?
No, my first
Well, it's
class
nice
with
to
you.
meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia, Bogota, Colombia.
Is it a picture I'm looking at? It's beautiful.
No, it's online. Yes,
Wow, it's gorgeous. Is that where you live?
Bogota.
Oh man, so beautiful.
Mhm.
Well, very nice to have you in class today. So, your name is Gladys. Gladys. Okay, not
Gladys.
gonna forget that. Sorry. All right, Gino, is that your name?
Hi teacher. You
Gino, are
call
you
me.
there?
You call me Zinho. Hi. Oh.
Or you're having audio difficulty? Come to the top of your screen here and click your settings, and you can change which microphone you're using. Like if you're using your headset microphone or your computer microphone, there.
Hi teacher. Can
And it,
you hear me?
yep, I can hear you. How are you?
Oh. I'm fine. How are you?
And good. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Nice to meet you. I'm from Vietnam.
Vietnam. So how do I pronounce your name? Did I say it wrong?
Uh, Vietnam. Viet
How do I
N A M.
pronounce your name? Is it
Uh,
Gino?
mine Zinho. Yeah. I
Say,
am both. I am both Korean and Vietnamese.
oh,
My
cool.
father,
Got it.
my father is Korean, and my mother is Vietnamese.
Wow, very nice. Well, welcome to class. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And will you say your name one more time so I don't forget how to pronounce it?
Or you can call me Zinho.
Zeno?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry that I'm not so good with names sometimes. All right. Esteve?
Hi.
Hey, welcome to class. I think you're new to my classes as well, right?
What?
You're new. I've never met you before, right?
Yeah, I'm new.
Okay, yeah. New to me, anyways. So nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Barcelona. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so sorry about that. I think I had some connection trouble. So Esteve, where are you from?
I'm
Can
from
everyone hear me?
Barcelona. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm so sorry I cut out right as I was asking you that. Very cool. And Anna, welcome to class.
Hi,
How are you, Anna?
I'm fine, thank you.
Awesome. I've had you in class before, right?
No,
No, first time?
no, yeah. I
Okay, very
began
cool.
yesterday with classes in Berlin.
Excellent.
And
So where are you from, Anna?
Barcelona too.
Wow. 2 Spaniards in class. We're lucky.
Yes.
Good to have you. And last but not least, Jesus. Welcome to class.
Hello.
Hi, Jesus. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
Have I had you in class before?
My second class in Berlin.
Ah, but you're first with me, right?
Yes, with you.
Okay. It's very nice to meet you. It's a whole class of new students. This is great.
Yes.
All right. So right before I got bumped out of class, I was going to put the notes in the chat box. Those are useful for you guys. So there's a link coming in both chat boxes. That's the first set of notes we're going to be using today. You can open them yourself or share on my screen. Okay. So today we're talking about the pronunciation of the S sound at the end of words. Because in English, we have letters that don't always match up to the same sound. Spelling and pronunciation are extremely irregular. So we're going to go over how to pronounce the S when it comes at the end of a word. Most of the time, if an S is at the end of the word, it signals something is plural, a noun that's plural, but also it could be a verb in the third person, like she walks and he jumps. So a verb in the third person or a plural noun. Any other questions so far? No? Excellent. Ooh, new student. Fidel, welcome to class.
Hey, how you doing?
Very
Thank you.
well. How are you? Where are you from, Fidel?
I'm pretty good. I'm from Nicaragua.
I'm sorry, where are you from?
Nicaragua. It's a Central America
Ooh,
country.
Nicaragua. Very
Yes.
nice. Well, welcome to class. Love your picture.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'll put the notes in one more time so that you guys can have them. Okay, so rules for plural pronunciation. We've got 3 rules that are important here. The first one is voiced consonants and vowels. So there's a list of sounds here. B, D, G, L, M, N, R, V, W, Z, and the silent TH sound, as in clothes. No? Or that's the voiced TH sound. Clothes, like the. That's voiced TH. So all of those sounds, if you make those sounds with your hand over your throat like this, you'll feel vibration. So if you say z, z, b, g, if you make those sounds and you have your hand here, you'll be able to feel your vocal cords vibrating. When we have those sounds at the end of a word, we pluralize using the Z sound. So I'll go back to the screen a second. We pluralize with the Z sound. And examples would be pens, cars, plays, legs. So if an S comes at the end of a word, what you have to look at is the word that comes, or the letter that comes right before the S. This G, this Y, this R, and this N. So all of those letters are in this list of letters. So you know that you have to pronounce the S as a Z sound. Any questions on that so far? No.
No.
Okay, so that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is unvoiced consonants, and those are all right here. That's the P, T, K, F, TH, and T sound. And if you put your hand over your throat as you say these, you're not going to feel much vibration happening. So I'll show you. So again, if you put your hand here and you say p, p, k, th, t, t, you won't feel vibration because you're not using your vocal cords to make these sounds. It's just air coming through, no vocal sounds. So p, p, k, k. If you have those sounds at the end of a word, you know that you're going to pronounce the S at the end like an S. So this is the only time that you pronounce the S like an actual S. And the examples are plants, tents, and backs. So backs, we have that K sound right before the S, which is in this list. So you pronounce it like an S. Tent, t, t, is silent, so you pronounce it like an S. And the plants is the same with the T sound. This word here is actually a mistake. It's not supposed to be in this list because bags is pronounced like a Z, and that G is in this list up here. So this one is a mistake. Don't use that. All right, that's rule number 2. Rule number 3, possibly the most difficult rule, is sibilance. Sibilance is a category of words that sound kind of like a snake would make those sounds. So that's the S sound, S, Z, Z. The SH sound like sh, sh. The G sound like garage, j, or genre. That soft G sound, j. And the CH sound, ch, ch, chips. So those are all sibilant sounds. Another one in the sibilant sounds would be an X sound. X, x. That would be a sibilant sound. And when we have that sound at the end of a word, we're going to add a whole extra syllable to pronounce the S. So it'll be pronounced like is. For instance, watches, kisses, wishes, boxes. So this word ends in a CH, which is a sibilant sound, so we add an extra syllable. The original word is watch, 1 syllable. We make it watches, kisses, wishes, boxes. Any questions on these words so far?
Nope.
Awesome. So the best way to tell the difference is by putting your hand over your throat and seeing if it has voice or not voice. Or, of course, you could memorize these letters and these sounds, and that would be helpful too. So let's come up with some words that would follow the first rule. The first rule is a word that ends in one of these sounds, and the S is pronounced like a Z. So Gladys, can you come up with a couple words that would follow rule number 1?
Sample?
Yeah.
Okay. Things. Things.
Things is a good one.
Yes. Mouth.
Mouth, like as in what you eat with.
Mouth.
That's actually not a very good example because the TH sound is silent. And this can be confusing because sometimes the TH sound is silent and sometimes it's not. So the TH sound can be in rule number 1 or rule number 2. But in rule number 2 would be something like mouth. That would be the silent th, th, th. And in rule number 1, we have the voiced TH sound like the, clothes, clothes, clothes. And rule number 2, we would have mouths, mouths.
Mouth.
So for rule number 1, we have think. Can you give us 2 more examples? I'm going to have everyone give 3 words.
I don't understand.
Okay. So in rule number 1, we have these letters that use our voice. So there's lots of vibration if you put your hand over your throat. And when we have a word that ends in one of those sounds, we pronounce the S like a Z. Even though it's an S, we pronounce it like a Z. So pen, Z. Because that N, we use our voice to pronounce it. So pens, cars, plays, legs. And the first word you gave us, things, is a great example. Thing, it ends in a G, which is in this list. Things.
Things.
So it's a great example. Great example of rule number 1. Can you think of any other words that end in a B or a D, a G, L, M, N, R, V, W, Z, or the voiced TH sound?
Okay. Well, for example, I don't think.
Well, you gave us one already, so I'll let you think, and I'll ask a couple other people and come back to you for the last 2. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Zeno, can you think of any words that follow rule number 1?
News. News.
Did you say news?
News.
Yeah, excellent. News. So that last letter, W, makes the S sound turn into a Z. Awesome. Can you come up with 2 more? I'm asking everyone for 3. It's tough, huh?
Crayons. Crayons.
Crayons?
Yeah.
Sure. This is a good one. And one more.
Staplers.
Repeat
Staplers.
that. Staplers. Yeah. Excellent list. Thank you very much. Fidel, can you give us 3 words that follow rule number 1?
Computers. Do you hear me? Hello?
Yep. That was a perfect example. Computers. Good one.
Another
What
one
else?
could be tags.
What did you say?
You know, the things that new clothes have a tag. T-A-G. Tags.
Oh yeah,
Important.
tags. Okay. And one more.
Could be bed. Bed.
Beds.
Yes.
Awesome. Great examples. Next up, Esteve. Give us 3 examples of rule number 1.
Okay, like bats,
Mhm.
bad people, or nouns,
Mhm.
and backs.
Backs. Sure. Actually, no. Back, as in B-A-C-K.
Oh, B-A-G.
B-A-G. Okay. Bags. Great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Anna, give us. Oh, did you have more?
Yes.
All right, Anna, give us 3.
Levels,
Okay.
bats,
How do you spell that one?
bads. B-A-D.
Okay.
And television.
Televisions. Sure. Okay. And all of those words are great, but the second word, as far as I know, doesn't really exist in English. You can't have a plural of an adjective. Does that make sense? So it's a good example of a word that would follow this rule, but we don't use that word for anything because we don't pluralize adjectives. All right. And Gladys, can you give us 2 more words?
Singers. Singers.
Mhm.
Okay, fingers, singers.
Great. Awesome. So I'm going to put that list of words into the chat box, into both chat boxes for you guys.
Yes.
And we're going to move on to, yeah, question?
Michelle, what the meaning of staplers?
Staplers is
Staplers.
office supply, and I will give you a picture of it because I think the meaning will be quite clear if you can see a picture. So can you see these?
Ah, okay. Okay.
That's it. Stapler.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to rule number 2. And this is words that end in a P, T, K, F, T, or silent TH sound. So Gladys already gave us one of those in the last exercise. She said mouths. That would be a really good example of silent TH. And our other examples here, backs, tents, and plants. So find words that end in these letters, and you can test with your hand on your throat. This time I'm going to start with Anna to make it a little more difficult. 3 examples of words for rule number 2.
Okay. Cats, books, and blacks.
Blacks.
The color black.
Another great example of a word that would work, but black is another adjective, and since we don't pluralize adjectives, it doesn't really make sense.
Okay. Pets.
Pets. Perfect. Thank you so much. Esteve, can you give us 3?
Yeah, chips, pots, and troops.
You said chips, pots, and troops?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Fidel, 3.
Let me think. Meanwhile, I think the 3 words, please.
Yeah, it takes a while to think of these sometimes.
PT. Well, shorts could be one.
Yeah, shorts. What else?
Draft.
Sure, drafts. And one more.
No, shirts.
Shirts. Great.
Shirt. Shirt.
Lots of
Shirt.
clothing. Thank
Yes.
you very much, Fidel.
No problem.
Zeno, 3 more.
Scissor. Scissor.
Scissors. Okay.
Tips.
Oh, wait. Actually, scissors is an example of the first rule,
Oh.
since it ends in an R. Scissors. So we're looking for something that ends in a B, T, K, F, T, silent TH, like mouth. Something like that.
It is difficult.
It's a tough one. Can you think of any?
I don't know.
I'll give you another second to think about them. Think about words that end in those words, or words that end in those letters. And Gladys, can you give us 2 more since you already gave us 1?
Potatoes, tomatoes,
Actually, those follow rule number 1 as well. Rule number 1, we have words that end in voice consonants or vowels. So potatoes would have a Z sound. Potatoes, tomatoes.
okay. Tomato. Bueno, case,
What was that?
mm, com- pencils,
Pencils would be another one for the first rule since it ends in an L. Pencil, singular. Pencils, plural.
pencil,
So that would be rule number 1. We're looking for words for rule number 2.
okay. Number 2, tomato,
Nope, that's still number 1 since it ends in a vowel. Tomato ends in a vowel, so it's rule number 1.
mm, par- party, party,
Parties would still be rule number 1 since it ends in a vowel. So for instance, you have the example play with a Y, and if you add an S, it becomes plays. Same with party, ends in a Y, becomes parties.
Paris,
So that ends in a Z sound. How about
may,
Z? Oh,
may
go
I-
ahead. Yeah.
what sign is number 5 in second?
What?
Are voice consonants?
So the
what is sign number 5? P, T, K, F.
Yeah, these ones. P, T, K, F. The silent TH, like mouth, and T. Any words that end in those letters will have an S sound.
Yes, but I don't know the sign number 5. What is? O? 0?
That's actually a symbol that means the silent TH sound. And this symbol up here means the voiced TH sound, because we have one combination of letters that makes 2 different sounds. We make the distinction by showing different symbols, representing the silent TH and representing the voiced TH.
Okay.
Very good question.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Zeno, did you think of any others?
No, I don't know.
That's okay. I'll give you guys a couple more. Does anyone else have other words before I give you a few? No one can think of any other words to follow rule number 2? Okay. How about hat? Hats. That would be a silent one. Or flaps. Flaps. Let's see. Hard to think sometimes. Donuts. Those are delicious. Donuts. And sites, like as in websites. Sites. So those are all words that end in the silent vocal sound, or the silent sounds, and that would be an S sound at the end. And the last list of words we're going to make is for rule number 3. And rule number 3 is for words that end in the S, the Z, the SH, the CH, the X, or the J sound, like garage. So I'll start you guys off. You have some examples already here, like watches, kisses, wishes, boxes. And we'll do garages and bushes. So there's a start. I'd like everyone to come up with at least 1, maybe 2 of these. These ones I think are a little more difficult than the other categories because it's a smaller category. Fidel, can you come up with any words that enter into this category, rule number 3? Words that end in SH, CH, X, S, or Z?
It's a tough one.
So just from looking at your profile pictures, I have some ideas. Fish, fishes. Horse, horses. Glass, glasses. So we have a list going. Garages, bushes, fishes, horses, glasses.
But
Can you give us any more, Fidel?
Lemons.
What did you say, Fidel? I was having trouble hearing you. What did you say?
No, I didn't say anything. Someone talked and
Oh, did someone else have an idea?
Oh, I think lemons.
Lemons?
Yeah.
Lemons is actually an example of the very first rule because lemon ends in the N sound, which is in our first list. Lemon, lemons with a Z.
Z.
So that would be part of our first rule. We're looking for words right now that end in CH, S, SH, X, Z, maybe. So I'm going to put the words that we came up with so far in the chat boxes. And we'll move on to our next exercise and maybe come back to this one. Okay, so those are all the words we came up with so far. So our next exercise, I'm going to put in the chat boxes for you with a link. I'm going to ask you guys to identify if it's rule number 1, rule number 2, or rule number 3. It's a long list of words, and you guys have to pluralize it. So the first one is appoint, which is a verb. So if we were going to use that verb with an S to be like she appoints, that one would fall in category number 1, which is S, and rule number 2 that we talked about. So you can say rule number 2, or you can say category number 1, however you feel most comfortable talking about it. But a point becomes a points, and it's because the word ends in a T, which is in rule number 2. That's the consonant in rule number 2. Okay, so a point, a points. How about number 2, arrange? Arrange. That's a soft G sound. Does anybody know where arrange would go? Would it go in category 1, 2, or 3?
Yes.
Where would it go?
I think it's the third option.
Excellent. It's just like the word garage. It ends in that soft G sound, so it is the third column. It becomes arranges. We add an extra syllable. Arrange, arranges. Thank you very much. How about number 3, the word box?
Box. It in column 1.
And why do you say column 1? If we look back at our notes and look under rule number 3, we have the word box, boxes. So because it ends in that X sound, X, that's a sibilant sound, it would be in column number 3, following rule number 3, boxes. So a point, points, arrange, arranges, box, boxes. Do you guys have any questions before we continue here? All right. The next word is bury, which is a verb. So if it becomes the third person, like she buries, is that column number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Number 3.
You think number 3 with the sibilant sounds?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
Because we could add the ES, right, or not? I don't know.
That's true. And look at the letter this word ends with. This one's actually kind of a tricky one because we would write it with an ES, but it ends in a Y, and that's a vowel. So that would be back to rule number 1. That has all the vowels. All the vowels are in rule number 1. So berry becomes berries, berries, with a Z sound, berries. So that would actually be column number 2 or rule number 1. All right. And the next word should be easy now. Carry. Where should the word carry go? How about Anna? Where should the word carry go?
At first, with the vowels.
Exactly. Rule number 1, and in this case, column number 2 with the Z sound. So carry, carries. Excellent job, Anna. Thank you. Number 6, catch. Do you guys have an idea where catch would go?
Number 3.
Yes, number 3. So catch ends in a sibilant CH sound, so it becomes catches. Catch, catches. Thank you very much. Number 7, the word come. The last sound we have there is M, come. So would it be rule number 1, rule number 2, or rule number 3? Any ideas?
Yes, number 1.
Yeah, rule number 1, exactly, because it ends in an M sound. All right. How about 8, the word cook? rule number 1, rule number 2, or rule number 3?
Rule number 2. Number 2.
Yeah, would become the word cooks, which is rule number 2, or column number 1. All right, we'll do 2 more together, and then I'm going to give you guys each a few words to do on your own. So rule number 9, count. Would that be rule number 1, rule number 2, or rule number 3? Count.
Rule number 2 too.
Yeah, rule number 2, because it ends in a T, and it becomes counts with an S sound. So that would be column number 1, rule number 3. Okay. And the last one we're doing together, the word drive. Drive ends in the sound of a V. So would that be rule number 1, rule number 2, or rule number 3?
Drives. Number 2.
You said it right. The word becomes drives, and it's column number 2 with the Z sound, meaning rule number 1. Drives.
Drives.
Uh-huh. It ends in a V. So that's rule number 1, column number 2.
Drives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, so I think you guys are ready. I'm going to give each of you 3 words. I'm going to give each of you 3 words, and what you guys are going to do is you're going to pluralize it. So you're going to say the way it would be plural. For instance, with drive, you would say drive, drives, and then you'll tell me column number 1, number 2, number 3, and rule number 1, number 2, number 3. So for instance, drive, drives. Rule number 1, column number 2. All right. So 11, 12, and 13 will be Esteve. 11, 12, and 13.
Okay.
I'll give you, you guys will have plenty of time to work on these, so I'm going to assign them, and then you guys can work on them for a second. We'll come back. 14, 15, 16, Fidel. 17, 18, 19, Zeno. 20,
19.
21, 22, Gladys.
21, 22.
Yeah, 20, 21, 22.
Okay.
And Anna, 23, 24, 25.
Okay.
Everyone know which ones they have? Excellent. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to work on those. Make sure you have all of them done. So you're going to pronounce the plural way, and you're going to tell me which rule it follows and which column it goes in. All right, let's get started. Esteve, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, do 10, 11, and 12 for us.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. 11, 12.
Yeah. The first go is the first row, and it goes. The hate is the first row too, and it's hates. And the last one, Harry, I think that's the first row too, and it's
Okay.
Harry's.
Okay. So, go goes. You're right. It goes in rule number 1, which is column number 2. Hate. Did you say rule number 1?
Yes.
That one is actually rule number 2 because it ends in a T. So rule number 2 is all words that end in a T. And that would be column number 1. So rule number 2, column number 1.
Okay.
And then hurry, you're also correct. Hurry ends in a Y, which means it's rule number 1, column number 2. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The next 3, Fidel, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about 14, 15, and 16.
Judge. It's rule number 1, right? It's NOD.
Will you pronounce it? Try to pronounce it for me.
Judge.
So pronounce it with the S at the end.
Judge.
Not quite really, because the word...
Judges.
What?
Judges.
Exactly. It becomes judges. And which rule is that?
It's the third one.
Yep, it's
Nope.
rule number 3 and column number 3, because that soft G sound is
Yeah.
similar to arrange or garage, which is all from rule number 3, the soft G sound.
All right.
Thank you very much. How about number 15?
It's the same rule. Messes. Messes.
Uh-huh.
It's rule number.
Mm-hmm. Rule number 3, column number
That's,
3, because it's messes. Thank you very much.
And the
And
last
the
one,
last
names.
one? Mhm.
Names. Rule number 1.
Yep. Rule number 1, column number 2.
Number 2.
Thank you very much. Great job. The next 3, Zeno, will you do them for us? Starting with number 17.
Sorry. Need rule number 1 and column number 2.
Exactly. Thank you.
Next, Bessie's rule number 3 and column number 3.
Mm-hmm. Well done. The last one?
And Pix rule number 3 and column number 1.
Yes, rule number 2 and column number 1. Okay, thank you very much. And the next 3, Gladys, go for it.
Okay. Plants, number 1. Boots,
Wait, rule or column number 1?
plants, rule number 1.
And why is that?
Is,
Mm-hmm. It ends in an S sound, right? Plant,
Plants.
plants.
plants. Okay.
So that would be column number 1, but rule number 2, right here.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
Boots, boots number, excuse me. Boots number 2.
Column or rule number 2?
Boots number 2, a column.
But yeah. So column number 1, but rule number 2, right?
Okay. Rises, rule number 2, column number 3. Rises.
Yes. So the column is right. We have the extra syllable, but that would be rule number 3, column number 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Well done. And Anna, will you go next?
Yes. Reach, rule number 3, column number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Reaches. Rob, rule number 1, column number 2, robes. And speak, rule number 2, and column number 1, speaks.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Awesome, guys. You all did a wonderful job. And we only have 5 more. And since we have 5 more students, we'll just finish them up. So let's see. Number 25, Gladys. 26, Zeno. 27, Fidel. 28, Esteve. And 29, Anna. All right, let's finish strong. Totally sorry, guys. I had a little connection difficulty. Gladys, will you do number 25 for us?
26. Okay. Talks, rule number 1, column number 2.
Excellent. Well, actually, sorry. You're doing number 26?
Yes.
So it ends in a K, right?
Okay. And
is that rule number 1 or rule number 2?
Now, rule number 1, column number 2. Talks.
So look at the rules for a second. Which rule is it?
Number 1.
Where do you see the K?
Okay. 2.
Exactly. Rule number 2.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Number 25. Or actually, Zeno, which one did you have?
Number 25.
Okay, will you do 25 for us?
Oh, I think 26. Talk.
Can you do 25 for us, since we already did 26?
Talks. Rule number 3 and column number 1.
Whoa. So
rule number
right.
2 and
yeah, there we go. So
rule number 2.
Both number 25 and 26 are rule number 2 and column number 1. Thank you, guys. Number 27, Fidel.
Twice. In
I'm
column
sorry,
number
can you repeat
2.
that? Column number 2?
Twice.
Yeah.
Yes. Rule number 1.
Well, Rule 1, column 2. Thank you.
No problem.
Esteve, will you get number 28?
Okay, weight, the plural is weights, and it's the second row and the first column.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And
Okay.
29, Anna?
Yes, watches, rule number 3 and column number 3.
Excellent. We just have the last one, number 30. Does anyone want to do that one for us? It ends in a V sound, so which rule would that be?
It's the second row.
The second rule?
Wave.
Yeah, it ends in a
Yes.
V sound, so which rule is it?
The second row.
It's a V.
Oh,
Actually-
sorry. It's the first row,
Yeah.
and it's the
And
second
which
column.
column? Excellent.
second.
Yeah, first rule, second column. All right, guys, thank you so much. We're just about finished today. Do you have any comments or questions before we finish up?
No, thanks.
No, thank-
Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay, bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
teacher. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.